This is where the Perth conversation begins. Drive with Gary Adshead.
On 720 ABC Perth.
And the ABC Listen app.
Righto, well, anyone that's probably been involved, either their kids or themselves, in terms of learning an instrument, possibly a guitar, because it's certainly very well known for that, might be a bit surprised to hear, all things come to an end, that the owner of Concept Music, Graham Hoskins, has called it a day. And he'll wrap up 1980 that he began Concept Music, and he's calling it a day. So let's reminisce with him right now. He joins us on the line. Thanks for your time, Graham.
Oh, pleasure, Gary. Thanks for your call.
Yeah, okay. Can I go back to the beginning? 1980, Murray Street, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it was.
How did it all start for you?
Well, that's a good question. I was a music student studying trombone in high school, and just after I left school, buying some accessories for my trombone, the owner of a store in Stirling Street said to me, "Would you like a job?" And I went, "Oh, okay." So I turned up the next day not knowing what I was going to do, and then worked there for 8 years, and then decided I had, as a young buck, decided I had the confidence to branch out on my own and do my own thing. And so I started my own store when I was 25 in 1980, and here I'm sitting 45 years later wondering where that time went.
Where that went. Was music just in your blood, though? I mean, you'd have to be pretty passionate about it.
Yeah, I learnt trombone at school, which people are surprised about. Many years after starting at Perth Modern School, I was the only student on trombone in the first year, and it came out many, many years later that I initially thought I was the only kid lucky enough to get the trombone that everybody wanted, but it transpired that nobody else wanted to play it. So, but I was quite passionate about the trombone and absolutely loved it. It was the only subject I was capable of scoring above 51% in.
Do you still pick it up now?
When I got 51%, I was going 51%. I nailed it. But
do you still pick it up now and play?
Oh, very, very rarely. Unfortunately, sitting in my office, I'm looking at the case now, wondering if that's going to make a reappearance after I get through the next few weeks or so.
Well, I think you'll have to play it.
Comes out of the case.
I think you'll have to play it out the door, mate. That's what you'll have to do. Now.
Yeah, somebody challenged me with that the other day. I've got a little Instagram post that's got the final countdown on it. And I said, "Can you play that on trombone for me?" I went, "Oh, give me time to get my lips back."
Now, listen, Concept Music, of course, it's been around for so long. The thing about a music store, whether it be in Murray Street or Cambridge Street, of course, where people would know it's been for how long? How long has it been at Cambridge Street?
Yeah, it'll be 45 years almost to the week. I've been in Cambridge Street since 2000. I moved here to Cambridge Street.
Okay.
It was 20 years in Murray Street and then 25 years here.
Right, okay. Is that when people come in, I mean, it's a very personal thing that you're involved in. It's not like people going into a big retail store and just picking the cheapest item that they need to sort of cover them. This is a very personal thing that you're involved in. So you must feel sort of privileged over the years when a mum and dad come in, they want to buy an instrument for their son, whatever the case may be, or their daughter. How do you sort of go through that process with people, and do you have memories of that?
Oh, very, very much so. And I was talking to one of my staff and some customers early today saying that as exciting it is to sell an expensive instrument to a professional, I've always had the most joy from helping people start their journey and then watch them grow and continue. So for me, exactly what you've just said, somebody coming in music shop is unique and it isn't like a normal store. And I mean, I'm lucky enough for 45 years, I've come to work in jeans and a T-shirt every day.
Yep.
But we've never lost sight of the importance of being in the moment with a young beginner. And of course, walking into a music shop, if you haven't been into one before, is very, very intimidating. You walk in, you see people wide-eyed going, "Oh, shit, what have I done?" Walking in here. But that's the hardest thing for people to get started is walking through the front door. Once they're here, we can help them relax. We can assure them that we're not going to try and push them into buying something they don't want, and listen to them and see what their needs are, see what their musical interests are, and then sit down with them and help them choose an instrument to get them started. And as I say, that's quite special to be in that moment, and we're always reminding the staff, we're always reminding each other that be in the moment, because this is the foundation of where every professional started from. They all started as beginners somewhere. Everybody remembers their first instrument. So make it a special moment, be with them and thank them and encourage them, and hopefully see them again over the years. And that certainly happens now.
Because, just to reflect personally, I remember when my wife and I were going to buy a trumpet for our son, because he was learning trumpet at Churchland through their music program. So, it is a moment, because they're an investment, but they're an expensive investment in some way as well. But when you actually then get to see them perform at a concert or go out to a primary school to do the last post for them, there's a hell of a lot of pride.
Oh, there is, and that's very special to be involved in that. I've done many parent nights over the year and talked to many parents, and it is a big investment, and we can't lie and say, no, it's not. It is. Most of the student instruments now start around $1,000 for something like a trumpet, a flute, a clarinet. And people are nervous about that. So I used to try and convince parents that their kids won't give up, that, don't worry, they won't give up. They're going to love it. They're going to play it forever. But I had to realise that even in a special music school that I was in, only 2 or 3 students graduated and went into professional music like myself. Yep. Most of them stopped playing, but all of them have maintained a strong interest. And my rhetoric at a parent night would be, if they give it up, is that a bad thing? I want them to play, but how many kids have you spent thousands of dollars buying sports equipment or hockey sticks or, other equipment that you just have to throw away or give away after a year? A musical instrument is an investment, but you've got something of value, and they might not give it up. But also, the fact they might give it up doesn't mean they shouldn't have a go, any more than they shouldn't give basketball a go. And nobody ever says, no, he can't play basketball because he might give it up in a year or two. I think music's an essential experience for kids growing up.
Well, you'll be happy to know that our son's still got his trumpet that we got from Concept Music. So there you go. Does he pick it up much? He's now into a different sort of career, but it's still there, and he knows he can pick it up whenever he wants. And maybe one day we'll get him to. Now you've met probably some stars that have come through your store. What about this bloke? Do you remember this guy?
Hi everyone. Many of you perhaps know Graham. He's been here for a long time, 45 years with Concept Music, and I have to congratulate him for selling me so many different guitars and bits and pieces. He's done a wonderful job. All the people I know who come here love it, so he's done a fantastic job for the music industry, and particularly guitarists, although he does have, and he's just been trying to sell me some saxophones. It never ends. But actually he's warned me off them because they're so hard to play, but there you go. Anyway, look, it's not, this shop is not going to close. It's at the end of an era with Graham moving on. It's been the shop to go to for me in this part of the world, and I've really appreciated the service we get here.
Oh, that's Hank Marvin, and of course it goes without exactly. And it must have been a thrill for you that Hank Marvin moves to Western Australia after the career that he's had and the legend that he is in terms of when you look at pecking order of guitarists, he's right up there. To have him as a client.
Yeah, it's very special, and I don't take it lightly. And Hank's a regular visitor. His son Ben works for me as well, which is lovely. He's a lovely player, and he's a terrific asset to the store. But there's been. I'm reflecting on the people that have been here, over the years, and it's quite a list when I go through it. And Tommy Emmanuel's here last week, and it's very, very special that whenever he comes to Perth, he rings me from the airport and says, "I'm in Perth tomorrow. Do you want to have breakfast?" And he comes in and says hello to the staff. But it's quite a long list, and of locals as well. And it's a privilege I don't take lightly.
Now, we know that the final trading day for Concept Music, as we know it, will be the 24th of June. There's a clearance sale happening. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we started that yesterday, went off with a bit of a bang. We're still trying to find space to put the signs up, but it's an opportunity. We've had a rush of people in yesterday just wanted to come in and say hello and get a memento, as it were, so we're going to go pretty hard over the next 3 weeks. So there's as little as possible left on the last day. I don't want to run out of anything.
You'll be standing in a shop with nothing.
I can help it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, but we'll be clearing as much as we can by the 24th, and hope to help a few people feel a bit special and get a bit of a bargain as well.
All right, and just tell us, after that, what's the future for the store? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, after that, well, I was very lucky. You know, it's an all too common story that music shops just close down and disappear. But it was a few months ago. I had a call from a lady called Fiona, who owns a chain of stores and a wholesale company as well. And she called me and said, "Graham, I've heard that you want to retire," and they said, "I want to have a chat to you." And it went from there. So the SoundBay group, which runs this chain of stores called Manny's in Australia, they've got 5 or 6 stores now. They'll be taking over the brand, and they're fitting out a big new store just down the road in Loftus Street. So it's going to become a double-sized store that it is now. I'll be working there for at least 6 months to help them transition, particularly into the school and education space, which is a new area for them. So I'm excited about the intent that they've expressed to really get stuck into that and service the local community in schools, the education departments, and the local musicians. So I'm looking forward to working with them. That'll go for 6 months, and after that, she may not want me anymore, or I'll see how I feel as well. And I've been warned that it's not quite the same to work for yourself as it is to work for somebody else after 45 years. But I'm willing to give it a crack.
Well, mate, without blowing your own trumpet, pun intended, all the very best with whatever comes next for you. And thanks for all those people that I'm sure would like to congratulate you for having that store, having the ability for people to come to. I don't know how many guitars you've sold over the years. I don't know whether you've ever kept count, but there'd be a whole bunch of people out there that would have thousands and thousands. There you go. But there'll be plenty of people out there that have had an experience of coming in and choosing that instrument at Concept. So thanks very much for that, and good luck with it all.
Certainly the reaction on, thank you, Gary. Certainly the reaction on social media when we launched it yesterday morning has been quite overwhelming and a little bit embarrassing and a little bit tear-jerking to read some of the testimonials. So it's been a wonderful journey. I've been very privileged, and I'm trying not to be sorry for what isn't going to be, but just be so thankful and for what I have had for 45 years. It's been wonderful.
Beautifully said. Graham Hoskins, the owner of Concept Music for a little while yet. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks very much, Gary. I appreciate the call. No
problem. There you go. If you want to share any stories, by the way, because I'll bet you there's people listening right now, 1300 222 720 that have gone in there and picked their first musical instrument. Day little heroes, and the plaudits are flowing for Graham at Concept. I hope he's still listening, Graham, because you're about to get even more embarrassed as we go to some of the callers that want to pay homage to you. Let's go to Rod first. G'day, Rod.
Yeah, g'day. Yeah, look, I bought my clarinet back in 1973, and so I was playing it. But about probably 5 or 6 years ago, I wanted to dust it off and play it again, and I needed to get it reconditioned. Took it to the boys in at Concept Music, and they gave it the love and care that it needed, and got it recorked and repadded and playing it again. So they really, as Graham was saying, that they do love caring for not just the customer but the instrument.
Well done, mate.
Lovely.
Good on you. Yeah, it's going to be sorry to see him go, but it's nice to know that he's going to be missed, I reckon. Thanks very much for that, Rod. Let's go to Eric next. G'day, Eric.
How are you?
You've bought a few guitars, have you, mate?
Well, yeah, I've been actually. I got a shock. I got a shock to hear that Graham is retiring. My wife is driving around and she says, "Oh, you better listen to ABC." So I switched on. But I've been taking my business to Concept for since he was in Murray Street, and I bought countless. Yeah, I bought countless guitars, amps, pedals, and to show you what a gentleman Graham is, he used to even sometimes let me take a guitar or an amp home, try it out for a few days. If I liked it, I'll go back and buy it. If not, I'll try something else. And I've always got great service from not only him but also his staff. And sorry to see him go.
Yeah, no, we'll pop in and say goodbye to him before the 24th of June, mate. Yeah,
I will. I surely will.
Do you play? You just personally play, or did you play in a band, or what was the need?
In the days I played in a band, but I'm still playing though. But I sometimes get together with friends, say once every 5-6 weeks when we jam, and you never stop playing. Once you start, you never stop. Well, I didn't anyway. Yeah,
no, good on you. Thanks for calling through and acknowledging that he's departing the scene in terms of he's sticking around himself, but he's departing in terms of Concept Music.
I'll catch up with him.
Good on you, mate.
Catch up with him before he goes. Thank you, bye.
Pleasure. Thank you, Eric. I'm glad to let people know about that. It's important, I think. We still try to act like a village sometimes, don't we? So, in the modern interconnected world that we live in, there's another way we can do this. It's called radio, and we can just say to people who are driving around in their car or sitting at home, hey, concept music, it's been around for 45 years. It's calling it a day. And if you want to go down and say good day, you know where it is, Cambridge Street.